this is Tri-State's Finest. Today, Sincere couldn't make it because he had to go to the park. But we do have our special guest, the queen on the track, the inspiration to young females, and amazing in the classroom, Iyanla Kollock.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Tired. School.
Just got out of the lab.
Yes.
We want to start out, and we were wondering if you can give us a little background on who you are.
Okay, so my name's Iyanla, like how Will said. I'm a sophomore at Rutgers University. I run track for them. I used to go to Our Lady of Mercy Academy in Newfield, New Jersey, where I ran for them from my freshman to senior year. And that's where I met Will and Matt. And yeah.
That's good. We have a few questions set up. I'll start out. So coming from Oma, was it a hard transition coming from a smaller school to going to Rutgers, a huge school?
Yeah, it definitely was, because at Oma, I graduated with 26 girls in my class. So then going to Rutgers, it's like there were some girls that came from Oma that went to Rutgers, and it's like almost like impossible to like see them on the daily basis unless like you actually make an effort. You're constantly seeing new people around the campus because there's like, it's a huge school. And I think when I had to choose a college, I really was looking for a big school because I didn't get a big high school experience. So I was really looking for that like huge university to kind of go to.
So I know you're an amazing track athlete. So who is like one athlete that you really look up to?
Definitely English Gardner. And it was so crazy because freshman year at Rutgers, actually our sprint coach, he's very close with her. So one day he ended up surprising me at practice, and she came and she actually like went over block techniques with me, and like we kind of like did some drills together, and she like watched my races and like really helped me because she's also from South Jersey. So like when I was in high school and I got added to the South Jersey all-time list and the New Jersey all-time list, she was right on there with me. So it was really great to like have that experience with her, kind of like because I always looked up to her. So it was really great.
That's awesome.
Was she one of the reasons why you got into track?
She wasn't. Actually, my dad was like a really big part of that. He always really wanted me to do track because I always did like sports that involved like a lot of running. I did soccer, I did softball. So then he kind of was just like, I think maybe you would really be good at this. So then my freshman year at Oma, he was like, you're gonna do this. And then after that, I kind of just fell in love with it. And then English was one of the people that like I started looking up to.
So I'm looking at your like track resume. You had 4th place in the 60-meter ECACs, your 7th place 200-meter Metropolitan champ, 3rd place 60-meter. That's just your freshman season, your indoor season. Plus, then you got all your outdoor. You got a new school record at the Penn Relays. This year, indoor season, 1st place 60 meters. What do you think your greatest track accomplishment is?
My greatest track accomplishment overall had to be at the end of my freshman indoor season. I got 4th place at ECACs, and I ran like my best PR of the whole season, which was 7.59, and I ended up making the Rutgers all-time list, and I was the only freshman to be on that list ever. So it was kind of like a really big deal to me because I didn't even know that like that wasn't really in the goal for me. Like that wasn't really like something that I had set out to do. It just kind of happened because I worked really hard freshman year because I didn't really know what to expect, and I kind of didn't want to be behind. And so when after the meet, when like I figured out like that had happened and everything, that was kind of like a really surreal moment because, you know, in high school, it's like, okay, you kind of, you have a feel for things, you know what I mean? And like making something like that, it's not that hard in high school, but then you get to the collegiate level and like these are like really good athletes, like athletes that have went pro, that are on this list with me, and I made that list my freshman year. So for me, that was kind of a really big thing for me, like coming to a Big Ten school like that and then being able to get myself on the all-time list so early.
That's amazing. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Congrats.
I know that you're a very busy lady when you're at school, juggling school, track, and you have an internship too, right?
I do. Yes, I do have an internship.
I just want to hear some more about the struggles of like your everyday routine.
Going into sophomore year of fall semester, I knew that I kind of did want to make time for an internship because I want to go to law school after undergrad. So I kind of had to make space in my schedule to be able to fit something like that in. So over the summer, I worked with my academic advisor and my coach to be able to like have like some free room to kind of be able to do that because we are so close. Like we're like basically like right next to like New Brunswick, which is like a really good populated area because the courthouse is right there. So I applied to 12 internships over the summertime, and I got some calls back, and then I ended up making the final decision to work at a family law practice right down the street from school. So it's kind of busy. Mondays are really hectic for me. Tuesdays usually are days I can spend all day in the office. So I usually go in about 10 and I don't leave till about 4. And then at like 4:30, I go to a pool workout. So it's really not like that much of a strenuous day. And then throughout the week, it kind of changes. Spring semester, I change my schedule around again so I can have some kind of like downtime to be able to go to the office and everything. I think for me, it's just being able to like prioritize very well. And like my coaches and my academic advisor, they know like what I want to do. They know that I don't want to go pro. They know I want to go right to law school after undergrad. So they're very helpful with being able to like manage my schedule with like what I wanted to do, because the internship was a really big deal because it's very, very hands-on, and I got promoted very quickly.
It's great.
You seem very, very busy.
I am.
What kind of rituals do you have before like your track meets or anything like that, if you have any?
I have so many because I feel like I do so many. It's so weird. Usually, there's only two of us short. There was only two of us short sprinters competing this season, and there was only two of us competing last season. So usually we're pretty close. So me and the girls, we always usually like pray together right before we get on the line, and then I always do the sign of the cross right before I get down, and I take a deep breath and I kind of like exhale. I have like this whole ritual right before I get into the blocks. It's like a whole jumping thing, slap the legs, and then get down and then do the sign of the cross. So I'm very like ritualistic when it comes to meet days. I like always like try and do my makeup the same. I never run like without makeup because I always like I have to do my makeup. I have to take pre-meet selfies. I'm like very like I always wear my arm sleeve, my leg sleeves. Like it's a big deal.
Do you ever take time to like sit back and watch everything that you're doing, like with school and track, and wanting to become a lawyer, like your influence on the youth and younger females and children in general?
I usually don't get a lot of downtime, but sometimes when I do come home and like I have like those like off weekends and stuff like that I spend with my my parents and stuff, I usually have time to like think about it, and like when I have conversations with people about what I'm doing, that's when I kind of do come to the realization that like I am doing a lot. And like a lot of like girls sometimes are like looking up to me and stuff like that. So I think there's some time like when I have downtime, I usually kind of realize it then, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to like process it all while you're in the moment. But I think when I have like downtime, like I'm just like in my room, or like I don't have homework or something, or like I'm with my parents, like just talking, or talking to people about like what I do at school, I think then it starts to hit me like, wow, I really am like doing a lot, like all at once.
So this quarantine is like awful, but what are you doing to like keep yourself motivated since you can't really see anyone, like to still work out and still practice every day?
Yeah, I FaceTime my teammates, the sprint unit. We're really close as a team. There's only 7 of us. So we FaceTime each other a lot. We have a group message. I'm a part of a group called AIA, which at Rutgers is like Athletes in Action. So it's a group for Christian athletes. And so we always FaceTime each other and like kind of motivate each other, hold each other accountable for working out and stuff like that. And so at my house, we have like a gym downstairs. So my dad, he's pretty good with like trying to keep me motivated and stuff like that. And also I'm coming off of an injury because I injured myself at Big Ten indoor. So I have a grade 2 strain in my quad. So I think just experiencing something like that and not having the resources at home, obviously like my trainers and everything, I keep in contact with them a lot just because I know that when the season does come back, I do want to be prepared.
I wanted to touch back on to you want to be a lawyer. What exactly do you what are your goals in that field?
Definitely want to get into law school first, but I think more my focus is geared towards family law. I haven't really like set out any real goals. I think I'm just really excited to get into law school, and I know that I do want to do family law and maybe a little bit of criminal. Maybe one day have my own practice. I have talked about that with multiple people, so I think that would be one good, like a really good step for me.
What are your goals for the upcoming track season for, I guess, winter?
Yeah, next year for junior season, we actually added a lot of depth to our roster. So I'm just really excited for that. But from an individual perspective, I definitely want to climb higher because right now I'm number 7 on the all-time list. So I definitely want to climb higher because I definitely feel as though I can get faster, especially with the techniques that we've been going on. We're in like kind of a rebuilding process right now. So we've been doing a lot of new things, a lot of new techniques and stuff like that, and new like methods of training. So I definitely think that that will all show next season. I think this year it was a little early to expect change and to expect progress, but I think next year definitely will be the year for that. So I definitely want to climb higher on the all-time list, and definitely I think making at least regionals or nationals for the girls 4x1 team outdoor would definitely be a really, really good thing for us. And we have a lot of good girls, and we should be able to do that.
I'm going to transition to our next segment, which would be our quick hit segment. So we're just going to ask you some questions, like super easy questions that you could just come off the bat with. Do you feel as though there's an issue when somebody double texts you?
No, I like that.
You like that?
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, A Bronx Tale. A Bronx Tale, it's very old.
What's it about?
What's it about? It's with Robert De Niro, and it's like this boy who lives in the Bronx, and so his like dad like hates his friend, this older guy who's like a gangster, and like showing him the way. It's pretty controversial. It's about like the Bronx in like the 80s, all this other stuff.
I have to check it out.
The mob movie. Yeah.
What's your favorite cereal?
Favorite cereal? Raisin Bran Crunch with chocolate milk. Definitely. It's good. It really is good. I swear. People always look at me crazy. It's good.
That's different.
Very
yeah,
different.
I know, but it's good. It's good. It's good.
What are 3 words to describe yourself?
Outgoing, funny, social, I guess. I think that's really the same as outgoing, but.
What's the worst lie that you never told your parents? You don't have to tell yourself. You can say something like from when you were younger, but.
What was the worst lie that I told my parents?
Never told your parents.
I never told them. Oh, now I'm trying to think back to high school. I mean, I'm not really gonna, they're not gonna care now because I'm older.
Yeah.
Definitely when I didn't tell them that after OMA graduation 2017, I went down the shore and I couldn't figure out how to get myself back home. So I had to catch a ride with these random people, and that's how I got back home. Yeah, definitely
wow.
That.
Good situation.
Yeah, definitely that. Yeah, they're not going to care now because I got home, but yeah, definitely that.
What's your favorite Netflix show?
My favorite Netflix show? Definitely Ozark. Yeah, Ozark was really, really good. I love Ozark.
I've been hearing a lot about it. I've been wanting to watch it, but
it's so good. Either that or Tiger King. Tiger King was really good. It was so good. Very funny.
What's one of the craziest rumors you ever heard about yourself?
Definitely in high school when I heard that this team didn't like me because I always had my headphones on because I was singing to myself before meets in high school. I was like, what?
Whack.
Yeah.
What's one song that you have on replay right now?
Song. Janae Aiko, Lightning and Thunder with John Legend. Great song. Definitely in your feels song, but great song.
What makes you the happiest?
Shopping. Definitely shopping.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. That's it for the quick hit questions. We're going to go to the game. I got some would you rather questions. I'm going to have to.
Great.
Would you rather constantly have to sneeze, but it never comes out, or have hiccups that last for 4 hours per day?
Hiccups, because I hate that feeling of having to sneeze.
Would you rather have to use your weekend to eat or to write?
To eat.
Would you rather go back in time for 1 year and talk to your past self, or go into the future for 1 year to talk to your future self?
Back. Definitely back.
Would you change anything? Or you just give us some advice?
I would definitely tell myself not to take the second run of the turn at Ohio, so I wouldn't have strained my quad. Yep. Should have called it quits after one.
Would you rather have to pay for everything with pennies or $100 bills for the rest of your life?
$100 bill.
No, I don't get that one. Would you rather eat cat food or dog treats after breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Dog treats, because like cat food is like, isn't it like wet? Yeah, definitely dog treats. Yeah, dog treats.
Yeah.
Dog treats, definitely.
I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you for joining us. Do you have anything we should be looking forward to?
Definitely keep an eye out just for Rutgers women's track in general. Yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a really good year for us.
Yeah. Do you want to shout out your Instagram?
Oh yes, my Instagram is at Iyanla Kollock. That's really it. Literally everything is at Iyanla Kollock.
Everything.
That's my name.
Okay. All right. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you stopping in.
Thank you for having me.
Keep fighting.